Welcome back everyone to today's video, and we're going to be looking at the weather for the next 14 days and if it is going to improve, as it has been very cold today and the next couple of days do look similar, but there is a trend where we could start picking up the temperature for the weekend, and after that we could go a bit warmer for a bit, maybe to just give it a bit of a breather before winter sets in, and then we get the really stormy and cold weather coming in. So, yeah, we will get going with that. So, starting off on the mean, so that means the average Central England temperature for 2024. Now, I haven't shown you this in a video yet, but we are looking quite cool, and at the minute we are quite warm compared to what we should be for September. So we'll run through the year for you. We will do this again if we do a review of like the summer or something like that, but we'll just do it now quickly. So January's temperature was 4.8 degrees, and that was 1 degrees above average. February's temperature was very warm at 7.8 degrees, and that was 4 degrees above average. That was a very warm month, and as you can tell, that is what we're seeing down here. But every single month is either above average or around average. But as you can tell, since June, the temperatures have been dropping a bit, so maybe we can continue the cooler temperatures into the winter. See, we've been 0, 0.3, 1.2. At the minute, provisional to yesterday, the temperatures for September are quite warm at the minute. It's 16.4 degrees. But they are probably going to drop down to around 12 or maybe even 10 after the next couple of days. So that'll definitely go below average. But then we could be seeing a warmer spell again, and temperatures up to 20 degrees next week. So we just need to see what happens, and also look for any signs of blocking and stuff like that over the North Pole and Greenland and Scandinavia, because that could mean that we could see them trends into the winter, and that could mean we could get colder weather. Okay then. Now we are going to get into some chart data, so let's get into this. Okay, so this is the latest GFS run. So this is the GFS 6 a.m. runs. So we are going to be having a look what it's saying for the next 14 days, and maybe extend a little bit further out and see if we've got anything on the cards that could bring us a bit of cooler or warmer weather. So we'll see right now. So this is the current situation. So high pressure is the yellow, oranges, and reds, and low pressure is the greens, blues, and the blues will keep getting darker as we go into the winter. So this little area of low pressure, what you see on here, will become massive by the time we get into the middle of December and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the current situation. We've got high pressure sitting over Greenland. There's a bit of a block there. We've got low pressure just over Scandinavia, and we're wrapping the wind around that for a very cold, well, cold for the time of the year, northerly wind. And it is feeling very cold outside at the minute, and there's a lot of showers coming in. Just very miserable. So let's see what's going to happen throughout this week. So as we go into tomorrow, we carry on with the northerly wind until high pressure topples over. We start to introduce more air from this high pressure. This high pressure is pushing across the south of the country, and that's going to be bringing warmer air up from the southwest. So not warm, but it's definitely milder, and it might get quite warm eventually. So as we continue, as you can see, we do get low pressure coming in, but then we start getting a very strong area of high pressure. So we'll go very dry here for a change. So maybe a bit drier, quite a lot drier. Not really much precipitation at all of this. Bit of low pressure, little trough down there. But except from that, this high pressure is dominating. We'll bring the wind in from a bit of an easterly, but it's not going to be cold because there's still quite a warm air over here at the minute. I mean, places up in like Lapland and Finland up here are twice the temperature that we're at the minute, 25 degrees, and that's very, very warm at the minute, just because that high pressure and low pressure, what we've been having, been driving the warmer air up to them and knocking it down to us. So that's really what's been happening. So let's continue. We keep this high pressure in till all the way to next Friday and into next weekend. And then we look like we're going to try and get a northerly wind going again. We've got high pressure set over Greenland again. Bit of a pattern maybe for the winter to have a look at. You can see the polar vortex starting to strengthen up. And it looks like we're going to introduce these northerly winds again. But some low pressure out in the Atlantic. And how I'm looking at this, that low pressure is probably going to bump into this and then just bring us a westerly wind instead. Which is a bit boring, a bit wet, but it looks like what's going to happen. So let's see. Yeah, so we just end up with a bit more of a westerly wind by the end of that. But there is that blocking up there. We need to keep an eye on that, because if we do get that going, then there's a chance we could get some northerly winds coming in. But it needs to be around here, really, and then we can get them coming in from the northeast. But that is just something for the winter. So if we see it happening now, it usually means that it could happen as we go into the winter. But we'll just see with that one. Wait a couple of weeks and see if anything happens with that. Okay, so here's the 850 HPA upper air temperature and precipitation for Birmingham for the next couple of weeks. We'll just have a look if there's any difference between London. No, same. We'll just use London then to see if that would make a difference, but we'll just use London anyway. So this is the average line here, this big red line going down the middle of the average temperature. And at the minute, we are... Oh, don't know what's going on there. We are not anywhere near that. We are very below average, and the upper air temperatures are around 0. But as I said, we are going to get this increase, and it looks like it's going to steady off just here. But maybe signs of going cooler again at the end. But it is looking a lot milder and very dry for the next couple of weeks. Now that is a surprise, but well, it looks likely. So that's very, very good, really, for a bit of a warm end to the winter. Okay, now let's have a look at the ECMWF 500 HPA height anomaly. So this is for the 16th to the 23rd of September. And this is what we're looking like. So we've got high pressure sitting over top of us and to the north of us. And we're probably going to be bringing the wind in from an easterly direction. Like that. A bit like that around that high pressure. So, might be a bit cool with this low pressure here. Like we're going to be trying to do a bit of that. But it's probably going to end up doing a bit of that like that. So, we're bringing the wind in from the east. So, it will be not warm, but it won't be cold. It'll be about average for the time of the year, I would say. And finally, we're going to finish off with the Central England average temperature chart. I haven't showed these in the video before either, but I've decided to now. So this big black line here, what you can see going all the way up and down and all around up to here, and all the way down, is the average temperature. Now this blue, these lines are the lowest ever temperatures recorded, and this purple line is the highest ever temperature recorded. And I don't know how that happened, because that's an extremely warm year, which I don't think would happen in this time. And I don't think we get a winter that cold, because that's basically winter all through the year. So that's extremely cold for a winter. But that must have been in the Ice Age, so yeah. So at the minute, we're looking like this. So we've been very up and down. We are not very stable at all. So this 1961 to 1919 average is this black line. This blue line, what we are, has been very up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down all through the year. And it's just been milder, colder, milder, colder, milder, colder. And at the minute, we are on a bit of a milder side, as you can see. Just here. but you can see the line starting to decrease, and it looks like that line is going to continue to drop, and I wouldn't be surprised if that line drops to around here, I'd say, around there, and then we'll see what happens after that. It'll probably drop to about there, and then it'll probably go back up again, this warm spell we're going to have, and then it'll probably just even out a bit, and then we might go obviously into the winter. We'll see what happens. We're too far after that yet, but at the minute we are around average, and looks like we're not going to get anything significantly out of the ordinary. Okay, that is me done for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and tune in to the next video. It helps a lot. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.